If you're paying off your credit card balance in full every month, maxing out your 401 Neng Opera, and thinking you are totally secure, you might be making a mistake that leaves you incredibly vulnerable. The truth is, you aren't safe. You just look financially responsible. Let's see if this sounds familiar. Your FICO score is a solid 750 plus. As soon as your paycheck hits, it automatically funnels into your retirement account to grab that full employer match. You've got a stable corporate job and a safe family SUV parked in the driveway. Looking at this checklist, you are the textbook definition of the American dream. You are doing exactly what society taught you to do with your money. But why is it that every time you get that dreaded quick sync calendar invite from HR on a Friday morning, or when that check engine light comes on, your stomach still drops? Why is there this lingering low-level anxiety in the back of your mind? Listen to me. There is an incredibly fine line between looking financially responsible and actually being financially secure. And the harsh reality is, millions of Americans making a six-figure salary are standing on the wrong side of that line. They are building a life that looks rock solid on the outside, but inside, it's as fragile as a glass house. Beautiful, sure, but one tiny pebble and the whole thing shatters. So, stop beating yourself up. You aren't blowing your money on frivolous things, and you certainly aren't lazy. Today, we are going to shatter this illusion. I'm going to show you exactly why your brain loves to trick you into feeling safe. And most importantly, we're going to walk through a super simple vulnerability audit to patch up this massive leak before disaster strikes. Now, you might be thinking, come on, I'm making over 100 grand. I've got 6 figures in retirement. How can I possibly be fragile? Many people assume that financial insecurity is reserved for people who blow their paychecks on designer clothes or luxury vacations. But the actual data will blow your mind. According to a report by PYMNTS and Lending Club, over 50% of Americans making over $100,000 a year are living paycheck to paycheck. They aren't poor, but they are what we call asset rich but cash poor. Let me tell you a story. I have this friend, let's call him Mark. Mark is the ultimate responsible adult, makes $130,000 a year, has $100K in his 401 Neng, a nice 4-bedroom house in the suburbs with a mortgage, and has never missed a credit card payment in his life. One nice Saturday evening, Mark's son breaks his arm playing sports and ends up in the ER. The kid is fine, but a few weeks later, the hospital bill arrives. Mark's company health insurance is an HDHP, a high-deductible health plan. To keep his monthly premiums low, Mark chose a plan with a $6,000 deductible, meaning he has to pay the first $6,000 out of pocket before the insurance even kicks in. Mark has $100K in retirement. He has a ton of home equity. But in his actual checking account at that exact moment, he only had exactly $2,000 in cash. You might say, well, just pull it from the 401 Neng. Look, early withdrawals from a 401 mean an instant 10% penalty, plus ordinary income taxes. Not to mention, the paperwork takes weeks. What about the home equity? You can't exactly bring a few bricks from your house to pay the hospital billing department, right? Boom. Just like that. When disaster hits, the exact assets that made Mark feel so proud are completely locked up. He just got hit with something called a liquidity shock. The end result? Mark, the high-earning guy with the perfect FICO score, had to bite the bullet and slap the remaining $4,000 on a credit card. And if he couldn't pay off that statement balance by the end of the month, he'd get slammed with a brutal 24% APR. That is how fragile it is. The sense of responsibility Mark felt, and maybe the one you feel right now, is built on assets you absolutely cannot touch when a real crisis hits. You think you've got a shield, but the truth is, you're standing in a hurricane without an umbrella. The reality is, you aren't lazy, and you don't suck at math. The reason you're stuck in this trap comes down to a sneaky system error right inside your own brain, and once you see it, you will never look at how you handle money the same way again. So, why do incredibly smart people, people who can run Excel models in their sleep and preach the gospel of compound interest to their friends, let themselves fall into this cash trap? In psychology, there's a concept called identity protective cognition. Think about it. Since we entered the workforce, what has society brainwashed us to believe? A successful adult buys a house in the suburbs, has an excellent credit score, and religiously maxes out their 401n. You've busted your back to build that image. You're fiercely proud of it. So, your brain will fight to the death to protect this capable adult identity. It protects it so intensely that it creates a massive blind spot. Look, I'll be totally vulnerable with you guys. I fell for this trap too. There was a time when I would log into my Fidelity app to stare at my growing retirement balance every single day just to feel safe while intentionally ignoring my dangerously thin checking account. Because if I dared to face the hard truth that I didn't have enough cash on hand, the perfect persona I worked so hard to build would crumble. Admitting that hurts the ego way too much. And once we get comfortable with that identity, we fall right into the second, far more dangerous trap. It's called moral licensing. It goes like this. When you do something good, you mentally give yourself permission to do something risky. You think, hey, I automatically invested 10% of my paycheck into retirement. I've been so good. I deserve to upgrade to the premium trim on this SUV. Or, I deserve to fly business class for this trip, or simply ordering overpriced Uber Eats all week because you earned it after a stressful week at the office. That right there is when your fixed expenses bloat. Hello, lifestyle creep. Those bigger monthly payments, those premium subscriptions, they silently strangle your monthly cash flow. From the outside looking in, your life looks incredibly aesthetic, but behind the scenes, you are actively cutting away your own safety runway. Your money is gridlocked. There is absolutely zero breathing room if something goes wrong. Taking a deep breath here, feeling a little called out, a little tight in the chest? That's okay. The good news is this. To escape this trap, you don't need to suddenly make an extra 50 grand a year, and you don't need to panic sell your house or your car. The only way out is to drag this into the light. Let's do a vulnerability audit right now. It's just 4 quick steps, and I promise it will give you an immediate sense of relief. Step 1. Ditch the vague concept of an emergency fund. Stop obsessing over arbitrary numbers like $5,000 or $10,000. We are going to calculate something much more real, your cash runway. Just like an airplane needs a runway to take off again, you need time. Ask yourself this one brutal question. If HR calls you tomorrow and says your role has been eliminated, exactly how many moves do you have to live your crunk lifestyle without swiping a credit card? I'm not talking about surviving on ramen here. I mean your crunk lifestyle. Do not include your 401n. Do not include your home equity. We are only counting liquid cash you can access today. If that number is under 3 months, filling that up is your number 1 priority starting today. Period. Step 2. Scan for high interest exposure. Not all debt is created equal. Carrying a 3 to 4% mortgage? Totally fine. But if you are carrying a balance on your credit card into the next month, even just a few $100, and getting hit with a 24% APR, your financial boat is taking on water. Want real peace of mind? Put out that 24% fire before you funnel another dime into your investment accounts. Step 3. Check your insurance gaps. Remember the story about Mark and the HDHP trap? When was the last time you checked your health insurance's out-of-pocket maximum? Is it $5,000? $8,000? Whatever that number is, your immediate goal is to have exactly that amount in cash sitting in a separate account. So if a medical emergency happens, your only job is to rest and recover, not lay awake at night terrified of medical bankruptcy. And the final step, to release all the pressure, automate the buffer. The biggest mistake high earners make is thinking, I'll just spend whatever and save what's left at the end of the month. Let's be real. There is never anything left. Your lifestyle will always eat it up. Do this instead. Set up an automatic transfer on the exact day you get paid. Route it directly into a high-yield savings account. And here is the crucial part. Open this savings account at a completely different bank than the one you use for daily checking. Honestly, delete the savings bank app off your phone entirely. Build a massive psychological wall so you aren't tempted to transfer it back for a weekend trip. When you build this wall, you aren't just saving money. You are buying back a good night's sleep. You are buying back the freedom to not panic when your boss calls you into the office. Because what you truly deserve is peace of mind. Part 5. Conclusion and call to action. 10:30, 11:30. We've talked a lot about numbers today, but honestly, money has never really been about digits on a screen. At its core, it's about safety. Let me be clear, paying your bills on time, diligently funding your 401 NAMRO, those are amazing achievements. Don't stop doing them. You worked incredibly hard to get where you are. But please, don't let those badges of responsibility turn into a mask that hides your vulnerability. The truth is this: looking financially responsible is just a performance you put on for everyone else. Actual financial security is the gift you give to yourself. It's that massive exhale of relief when the car breaks down, or the doctor hands you a painfully long bill, and you know deep down in your bones that your family is going to be okay. Don't wait for tomorrow. The minute this video ends, I want you to pull out your phone, take your total liquid cash, and divide it by your monthly expenses. That is your runway. Look that number dead in the eye. Don't be afraid. If it's less than 3 months, filling it is your mission starting today. You deserve actual peace, not an illusion. If this video struck a nerve or helped you spot a blind spot you didn't know you had, hit that like and subscribe button. And if you know someone, a coworker, a friend, who is grinding away, looks super successful but is always quietly stressing about money, send this video to them. Sometimes, a shift in perspective is all it takes to break out of that glass house. Now, once you actually build this cash buffer, a weird thing happens. A new question pops up. When it comes to investing, why is it that we know the textbook advice is buy and hold for the long term? But the second the market turns a little red, your stomach drops and you want to panic sell everything. In the next video, we are diving into a completely different psychological battlefield. We're unpacking a brutal irony: why incredibly smart people make the dumbest financial decisions when they panic. The problem isn't that you don't know the investing rules. The problem is, those rules were written for a calm brain, not a nervous system that is screaming in fear. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.